Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from CLASH Daytona. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by NASCAR Foundation, Daytona International Speedway, USA Triathlon, Aquasphere, and Varlo, the woman who is having a phenomenal year. Rach McBride joins us. Rach, 70.3 Boulder, Cabo, 70.3 Boulder and Cabo. And are you the, I hate to say, oldest to have won a 70.3, you think?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. According to Tri Rating, I think I just beat Dee Griesbauer's record, possibly. I think it's unofficial,
Yes.
but, you know.
Age is not a limit anymore, is it?
No way. I mean, Dee just, like, set a course record at the Ultraman World Championships and won. So,
Killed it.
She's 52, and it's just, I feel honored to be following in her footsteps.
Well, and the thing that you've done, and I wonder if you've surprised yourself, because you've done Unbound, you've done Leadville, gravel, mountain bike, triathlon, and you're spending obviously less time on the TT bike than ever before.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing you're getting faster.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with racing so much gravel this year is, like, I was able to race a lot more, just, like, in general, and so I spent a lot of time on the bike, a lot of time racing on the bike, and even, like, for Boulder 70.3, this was in the middle of racing, like, 5 weeks in a row, so I raced PTO, Canadian Open,
Yes.
and then the next weekend was the Leadville stage race, where we basically do the 100 miles over 3 days.
Yep.
And then the weekend after that was Boulder 70.3, which I won, and was just like, I just did a stage race last week and I won this. And then went and did sub 8 hours at Leadville 100, and then went on to race a 4-day gravel stage race the next week. So it was like this like insane kind of race schedule, and it's just been amazing.
The thing that I think people don't get is the real, a lot of times the real issue is the running. The running beats you up.
Yeah.
And you're tuning your engine without the pounding.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think the fact that you're doing these long weeks of gravel and mountain bike, that certainly helps everything else you do.
Yeah. Oh, it must be, because my run training this year has been like bare minimum, like 45 minutes max.
45 minutes.
Like max time on my feet, like per
run.
workout, but and only like maybe 3 of those a week.
3 a week.
So it's like insanely low. I'm like, and at like at these races like PTO Canadian Open, I still ran like 4:02 kilometer pace, and I'm like, how the heck did I do that? Like, I haven't been running. I don't understand.
Fresh.
Yeah.
I think there's a tendency to overcook on the run.
Yeah.
Because it's the easiest thing to do. You walk out the door and put on your shoes and you go for 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. But when you're climbing on a gravel bike or climbing Leadville up to what 12,000?
12,000 feet.
12,000 feet.
Yeah.
When you're running, it must feel like, oh my God, I got so much oxygen here.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem. And my legs feel fresh.
Yeah, totally. And I have been swimming a whole lot, and I think that's really helpful.
Yes. For
like maintaining run fitness and just like overall cardiovascular fitness. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the swimming is really the essential part of that, because you've got to be there out of the water. If you just focus on the gravel and the mountain bike and weren't doing the swimming, then you have to go so hard on the TT bike, and affects your. It's funny, the dominoes of all that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, like this year, all of those puzzle pieces just seem to have fit into place, and it's been incredible. Like, I can't believe at 44 I am doing this. It's so surprising, and it's like pinch me.
What's funny about it seems like you're almost thinking, okay, you know what, this year I'm just going to focus on other stuff. I'll focus on gravel and focus on mountain biking, and maybe I'll squeeze in a triathlon or so. And then all of a sudden you're winning. And you're like, wait a second, why didn't I start doing this years ago?
Yeah.
What the heck was I thinking? Why was I doing all that schlepping on the run when I could have been racing? And I think the racing aspect is important too.
Yeah, absolutely.
The numbers, and you think about, guys and gals who do the Tour de France.
Totally.
Or they're every day
Yeah.
they get stronger.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
seems.
absolutely. Well, and I feel like that's my experience from, like, I've trained with a lot of road cyclists.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, early season, they're all just racing into shape. They're all just
Right.
like racing every weekend, and you're gaining fitness. And so that's the cool thing about doing a single sport, and especially cycling, is that you can just race so much, and it helps. You know, you don't get the same level of, like, effort and experience when you're just sitting, you know, on the trainer,
Right.
or, like, you know, doing your
Yes.
workouts. It's like actually getting in a competitive environment, racing against, I was, you know, at the Lifetime Grand Prix, I was racing against some of the world's best mountain bikers, road cyclists. Like,
Yes.
it was incredible. Like,
fun
what,
is it?
you can't beat that kind of competition.
Well, and this race, you were 7th here last year, 2021, right? And this is totally different from everything else you've been doing, right? Okay, now you're going to be in the TT position forever.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get off and run.
Yeah.
So your hips are going to be, and yeah. So but you like this race.
I mean, this is my 3rd year back here. I've
Yeah.
been here for every iteration of this race. I've never been to a race 3 times, so apparently I love it. But I do. I love the atmosphere. I love Bill and everyone who puts this on. Like,
They're
CLASH
just such good people.
are just fantastic people. And you can't beat this venue. It's so unique. And I definitely learned, you know, from the first year being here, just how unique of a race this is, and how specific you have to kind of wrap your head around it, and your body, in terms of, like, being in that TT position
Yes.
for so long and racing so hard, and then having to get off and run. You know, I think that it's like nothing anybody anticipates
Yeah.
until they've done it.
So another brutal race this year, Ironman St. George World Championship.
Yeah.
Talk about something that tests every aspect of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you like that type of course too.
Oh, it was yeah. I mean, fantastic. Like, I love the tough courses.
Yes.
I love the ones that are going to challenge me the most physically. And so, yeah, when Worlds was in St. George, I was just like, this is my cup of tea.
It's
like,
my bag.
I don't
Yes,
need to
I've
go
been
to
to
Kona.
Yeah.
Like, St. George, we have it every year in St. George. I'll be happy.
You'd be a happy person, right? Because it is, every aspect of that is brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
The swim, bike, and run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what are your thoughts on the split of with the Ironman with the women
Yeah.
racing in Kona this year, and then the men? We're not quite sure. Yeah, but they're talking Nice, but I'm not sure where.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a really interesting change. I think that, you know, I think that we do have to listen to the folks of Kona, to
Yes.
the residents, like, and if it's not working for them, then we need to make some changes.
Right.
I don't like the idea of, like, forcing something onto a community that
Never.
doesn't want it.
Yeah.
It's never a good feeling to be racing in a community that's like, we don't want you here.
Exactly.
You know? And so whatever that we can do to, like, have a better relationship, I think, with the communities
That's a
that
really
we're
good point.
racing,
Yeah.
I think is first and foremost the most important. I understand there's a legacy there, but, you know, it's a race, and I think it's interesting to switch it up a little bit. And you know what? If it's going to be in Nice, like, I've always wanted to race Nice, so I'm, like, kind of envious of the folks who might get to race there.
Well, yeah, it could be you.
I totally,
Yeah, there's really no reason. Do you look back on, you know, like 5-6 years ago and go, why was I not doing more gravel and mountain biking back then? I would have been a better triathlete.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, like, I think that this year I have focused more on short course racing, and with all the PTO races, I've been able to, like, get back into that groove.
Speed.
And I, you know, 5 years ago or so, I was really excited about moving up to full distance racing, and so I really, like, put everything into that. And so I was racing, like, 3 to 5 full distance races a year, and now when I'm coming back to the shorter stuff and back to switching it up a little bit more and seeing just how good I am at those distances, relearning how to race that, and taking all of my experience in the gravel racing back into triathlon racing, it's really making me realize, like, I really would love to focus more on gravel and on the shorter distance stuff, and maybe just, like, 1 or 2 full distances a year.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that I have been wanting to race a lot of the gravel majors for a long time. And it's always been tricky to fit in with, especially full distance racing, because, you know, Unbound is like a 12-hour race.
Yes.
That's not something that you can just like jump into.
No, you got to be trained
on a
that.
weekend.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be trained for it, and you have to be able to recover in order to go and do another race. And there's so many races, so many gravel races out there that I want to do, that it's really hard to like pick and choose and fit them in with the triathlon schedule as well.
Yeah.
I'm already signed up for Mid-South in March, so.
You are.
Yeah.
How is the recovery different from you do a full Ironman?
Yeah.
And, you know, your legs are beat to hell.
Yeah.
You just ran a marathon.
Right.
And, you know, and you're not back with us. You're racing with you're racing. Different gig. The recovery from a gravel race to the recovery from an Ironman, how different is it?
Oh, it's kind of like night and day.
It really, right?
It really is. It's like it is. It's like you can race back-to-back weekends or back-to-back days if you want to.
It's a stage race.
Yeah. Some people did like Leadville 100 and then Steamboat the next day.
Yeah.
Like that is insane, but it's also it's doable.
Right.
You couldn't do that with Ironman.
You can't do an Ironman on Saturday and not one on Sunday unless you're really a knucklehead.
Yeah. It is. It's like night and day. It's like, you know, not having that pounding from the running on your body is just like so different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're still fatigued because you are off road and you do have to use a lot of upper body strength, and like it takes a lot out of you, but it's nothing like a marathon.
The recovery is so much quicker, and the upper body work you're doing probably helps the swimming.
Totally, yeah, and vice versa.
That is the coolest thing. I've been loving watching the journey, just because you are the ultimate endurance athlete now, because you're doing it all.
Yeah,
and they just did their Clash Atlanta.
Yeah,
it was a mountain bike.
Yeah,
and they're talking about, you know, doing a gravel event.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's exciting.
And this place here being, you know, they've got the sprint triathlon on Saturday, and that's sold out.
Yeah.
So other venues, they couldn't add another race.
Yeah.
This is blocked off all day. You know,
yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So we'll add a 9:15 race.
Yeah.
There's just so many opportunities.
That's incredible.
Isn't that great?
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the best.
Yeah.
Rach, always a pleasure to catch up with you.
Yeah, you too, Bob.
Have the best time ever tomorrow.
Thank you.
And is it fun? You know, people are coming here from Abu Dhabi who are 21 years old.
Oh,
I interviewed Sif yesterday. Matt said she's 21.
Yeah.
Right? She's half.
Yeah.
She's half.
She's half my age.
She's half your age. And you're going to be in the starting line with her.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty fun.
It's so fun. And I'm talking to them. I'm like, all these kids, you know, they don't know what they're getting into coming to this race. But it is going to be like a wild race tomorrow, I think. It is going to be so fast. And the level of competition is going to be like, you know, I raced ITU for a couple of years. But like that was a long time ago. So you're going to have to work hard for those transition preems.
Rach McBride has been our guest, everybody. Again, Breakfast with Bob from CLASH Daytona. Hold on. We'll be right back.